You'd think that earning $100,000 a year would mean you've made it, right? Financial comfort, some extra for savings, and maybe even splurging on a few wants beyond the basics. But here's the harsh reality. In today's America, even a six-figure salary doesn't guarantee financial freedom. In fact, more and more people earning over $100,000 are still living paycheck to paycheck. Wait, what? $100,000 isn't cutting it anymore? What's going wrong? Let's dive into why the American dream seems so out of reach, even for those earning what used to be a golden ticket. The old gold standard of $100,000. For decades, $100,000 was the magic number. It was the benchmark of success, the point where you were supposed to be able to relax a little, buy a house, and save for your kids' college. The so-called American dream was all about that middle-class lifestyle. But now, even those making well over six figures are finding it hard to make ends meet. Why? The cost of living has skyrocketed while wages haven't kept up. In many parts of the US, a six-figure salary doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Places like New York, San Francisco, or Los Angeles, even $100,000 might barely cover rent, groceries, and transportation. In fact, to afford the American dream in places like Hawaii or California, you'd need more than $240,000 a year. That's more than double what many families make. And home ownership? Forget about it. Housing prices, home ownership is slipping further and further out of reach. The prices have shot up while wages have stayed mostly flat. And it's not just in high-cost states. Even in the most affordable states like Mississippi or Arkansas, the income needed to own a home and live comfortably is over $109,000, and yet the median income in these states is significantly lower. So, even in so-called cheaper areas, the dream of owning a home is becoming more distant. The role of student debt. Now let's add student debt to the mix. Remember when a high school diploma was enough to land a decent job and buy a home? That's not the case anymore. Today, you need a college degree to even think about entering the middle class. But with that degree comes a mountain of student debt. Right now, student loan debt in the US stands at a whopping $1.74 trillion. And that burden is having a ripple effect on everything else. Young adults, especially millennials and Gen Zers, are starting their careers with thousands of dollars in debt. Saving for a house? That's on hold because they're busy paying off their student loans. It's a vicious cycle. You go to college to get a good job, but then you can't afford to buy a house or start a family because you're buried in debt. The down payment struggle. Even for those who do manage to save for a home, there's another hurdle: down payment. It's no surprise that many first-time buyers are struggling with this. In 2022, the typical first-time home buyer had a household income of just under $96,000, but the median household income in the US is still hovering around $78,000. And it's not just about homes. Americans collectively owe over $1.13 trillion in credit card debt, with the average household debt reaching around $10,000. The reason? Inflation continues to erode purchasing power, making it increasingly difficult for families to manage both their day-to-day expenses and future investments. The rising cost of essentials like groceries, housing, and healthcare leaves little room for long-term savings or investments in retirement. Thus, for many, credit cards are the only way to cover their expenses. But, like all other things, credit comes with a hefty price. The average credit card interest rate in the US is now over 27%, creating a cycle of debt that's harder to escape. Psychological impact. And let's not ignore the mental toll this financial strain is taking. Feeling financially unstable can lead to a sense of powerlessness, insecurity, and anxiety. On top of all this, social media has thrown another wrench into the mix. You're constantly seeing people flaunting glamorous lifestyles, luxury vacations, designer clothes, fancy cars. It's not just celebrities anymore, it's your peers, your friends. This creates an unrealistic comparison trap where you feel like you're always falling short, even if you're doing okay financially. This has led to something economists call doom spending. People spend money they don't have because they feel like they're never going to catch up financially anyway, so why not enjoy life in the moment? It's that you only live once mentality. Is the American dream still possible? So here's the big question. Is the American dream still achievable? It depends. For many, the dream is shifting. It's no longer about owning a home and having kids. It's about just staying afloat. And while $100,000 a year used to be the ticket to the middle class, It's now more of a baseline for survival in many parts of the country. For younger generations, the dream might look different. It's less about buying a home and more about finding stability and enjoying life in the moment. But that doesn't mean they've given up entirely. Many still want to own homes, start families, and build a secure future. It's just going to take a lot more than $100,000 to get there. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the financial realities shaping our world today.